Well, hello guys. It's a couple of days after my last video on this hydraulic press. I'm actually quite excited. As you can see, I'm usually bubbling with excitement. Well, I've made contact with one of the other YouTubers, one of the guys I admired very much. He's doing very much the same than I do, that I actually wanted to do, building engines and all sorts of a little machine shop work. Aids Workshop, I want to give a shout out to him. And there is actually a little community where it seems like everybody look and cares after each other. A little workshop community, small engineering shop community. And one of the guys, Matty from Matty's Workshop, he has on one of his latest videos say that he's got cancer. So I ask you guys to think of him. I don't know if you're religious, maybe pray for him, and hope that he gets well soon, as he's a nice fella. He's doing very nice work, and you know, these guys, they are sort of where I'd like to go. I'm nowhere as good as they are, in the same league, but hopefully I will get there at some stage. I learn a lot from them, and others as well, I have to say, and I watch a lot of YouTube. I've got very limited training. Alright, I'm back. Just had to run out quickly and help the lovely Mrs. or the lovely wife in the garden. It's not the best of weather, but she's working in her office every day, working really hard, so she is actually enjoying being outside a little and do some bits and bobs outside. She loves working in the garden, and yeah, that's where a lot of my time goes myself, just making the garden a little bit better for us anyway. So I just ran outside quickly to give her a hand moving bits and bobs. Okay, let's get back to this. Where was I? Okay, so I've got, let's see, yeah, you are in shot. I've got these bits of almost set timber, these bits of steel, rectangular steel. They are about, what's that, 2.5 inches. That's a metric tape. About 2.5 inches by 1.5 inches rectangular. I want them, or I want to weld them up. The spacing in between, make them solid. If I can get you in shot again. Spacing in between them two bits, and so that they can run up and down solid. The idea is, like I explained in a previous video, that if you've got a larger piece of material, you can adjust it, because the ram is only short, so that you can adjust the height. I've got these bolts, which I also said to you about I talked to you about in the last video, that I want to drill through and be able to hold them in position wherever I decided to use it. And yeah, so I need to cut 2 spaces, weld them in, and then make that piece up. Let's get on with that, see what we got. So I brought you in a bit closer. The idea is to have them bits of steel in there. I've got here close to me, there's some rubbish in it. Bits of steel. It's also rusty, it's also out of the bin, saved. I want to cut them into spaces and weld them up so it's quite solid. This is quite thick material. It's almost about 1/8. I reckon it's maybe just under 1/8. It's about 3mm metal, so it's pretty heavy duty, but the ram is 12 tons, so I'd like it to be pretty sturdy. I know it's going to be quite heavy. I do have back problems myself, but I've got a chain block and probably get some hoisting system in here at some stage, and move stuff around. So I'll cut that first and weld it in. I'm not too sure if I'll do that on camera. I might do that off camera, seeing as you already saw how I cut stuff, and it could be a bit boring and just drag the video out. Cut that and weld them in. Saying that, change of mind, I can still cut that in onto the right sizes. I want a little bit of gap on the side so it's not too tight and it doesn't struggle to move up and down. Doesn't need to be a tight fit, but I still want it to be pretty sturdy and not that much slop around it. Yeah, I think first of all I'll probably drill the holes in the side for these high tension bolts. So it's M16, I'm not too sure what size of, well, I can check that actually, what size of what's the name that is. Now let me just zero this out first. You won't believe it is actually 16mm, and the head is 24mm. So there you are, M16, that's what I bought it as. It's a 24mm head and a 16mm shaft. So there you go. I was totally wrong anyway. M16 they sold it as. But anyway, it's high tension bolts. I think that would be well suitable for my needs. I need to drill these, so I'll get the position of that. I think I'll just get it in a drill press. I don't have a milling machine like I said before. Get it in a drill press after I got the center positions, punch it up, maybe clamp it together so I can drill it in one go, the two of them, and yeah, try and get a straight enough hole straight through the lot. Okay, so I have, let me just check the exact size of this. My exact rough estimation, guesstimation. That's a 50mm steel there. Yeah, 2 50mm. Switch that off. Sure, you know these batteries goes dead. So 50mm. I don't need to be that precise on the markings. Go 50mm, It's 25mm either side, and I'll make a mark. I'll just put the adjustable square on there with the scriber, metal scriber. Make a mark on the side, and that will do. Yeah, I can see that. I probably needed to colour that in a bit. That's fine. Then I want to go the half of the width of the steel, which is 60mm. So half 60, 30mm. I'm working in metric at the moment, so I want to go 30mm to get in the center of that tube. I mean, if I want to check it, I'll probably do that from both sides, mark it from both sides, but as this is not a very precise machine bit, oh no, let's not drop everything. Go with that. I'll just get a punch quickly, punch them marks through, and then I can go over the drill press. Now, the idea of a punch is, I don't know how much you guys know of metalworks, but if you try and drill something, before you know, drilling through metal, your bit starts to wander, and you wonder actually where the hole is going to be. So that's just a mess on the end. So you might get it bang on, or you might be wondering why it's not bang on. It might be totally off. So just punch the hole and get in close. Somebody said a while ago, one of the episodes I checked from, I looked at it, somebody else, you get your punch and you'll scribe in line and follow it through to where your point is. But for me, I just get close in, check it from both sides, see that you're happy, give it a good old whack and check, and I'm happy with that, and do the other side as well. So you've got 2 punch marks, that's it. So happy with that, and can take it over to drill press to try and get some sort of squareness in my hole. I know if I go by the guesstimation square on a hand drill, I'll be wondering why I haven't used the drill bit. That was actually a joke, silly but it is. Okay guys, we're here in my wood workshop. It's a bit tight, I've got stuff everywhere, and at the moment I'm working in the film industry as a carpenter, but at the moment, I don't know if you know the situation, a lot of us guys, and I'm quite privileged, I'm not too stressed out about money. I've got not a lot, but I've got enough to get by, and I've got a good wife and family, and I've got a lot to do at home, so I'm not too stressed out anyway about it. But what I'm getting to is I've got tools everywhere, because I brought my tools home, and my little workshop is filled up with tools at the moment, because I've got a full set of tools at work, and then I've got a set of tools and machines at home. So I'm squeezed in right here. I don't know if you can see, it's a bit of a mess. Let me turn you around, show you what I'm doing. That is my drill press, and I'm squeezing in that little corner. You see there's my boxes of work tools, and I got them not all in one go, bar through the years, and I had to do a couple of trips to get them home because I don't have a truck or a van to load them in. Anyways, get back to this. It's been a while since I used it, so I just want to check if this table is still 90 degrees to the old chuck, the arbor on the top, which I'm not too sure about. I might have to reset stuff, look it up. What I've got is my digital level box, which you might remember from setting up the lathe, and we'll use it again so that I can check that everything is square. The nice thing about this is I can square it or level it to any surface, true the level up, zero it out, and then check the 90 degrees on something else. There you are. Okay, so that's 88. I want to go slightly over that way. That's it. I'm happy with that. So hopefully it's going to stay there. I think it'd be fine. Alright, let's switch this off and put it away. Thing is, with all of these digital stuff, you need to look after it. You bang it, if you don't look after it, before you know, it's not going to be any good. You move the drill bit away. I'm going to start with a smaller drill bit, because as you might well know, a bigger bit, if you look at a bigger drill bit, especially for metal, I'm not sure if that's in the center. Let me start. That seems to bounce all over the place, but we'll go with that. If I start with a bigger drill bit, let me get you close in there. You see, it hasn't got cutting edge all the way to the tip. It's because it's such a big bit. Now, I have sharpened it before, but they don't always come out very nice and true, so that you get a little tip in the front. It's not easy, and I'm not set up to do that sort of precise work. So there's a lot of guesstimation and try and get it close to. This one needs a bit of sharpening up. I will do that, but in the meantime I'll start drilling with a smaller bit and then swap over to a bigger bit. Let's see what we got. So I'll get that into position, and that's it, right into the punch mark. Clamp that down. Now, of course, the clamp is not pretty close. It's all over the place. I'm going to just go over there. We're in a timber workshop, so I'm going to do the old wood clamp. Let me check. Yeah, it moved. Get it close to it again. There. It's in position there. One-handed solo clamp, they call it. Lovely. And I'll make a start in drilling. I want to go in my slower speed. I don't know if you know about drilling metal. If you try and burn it through, it's up to you, but metal, you're supposed to cut. Like any drill bit, any blade, that little tip I showed you before is the cutting tip. You get the same on a milling machine and a lathe. The idea is to cut it, and if you go too fast it will just burn it. So in saying that, I want a bit of oil, which I'll go grab off the lathe, but you want to turn it slowly so that it could grab and cut through the metal. Okay, start it up. Got a bit of cutting fluid here. Give it a dab, and it just helps everything to cut nice and free. And luckily it seems like that bit at least is sharp. But you don't want to go too fast. Don't worry about time. Now this, of course, is not punch on the inside, so I just want to slowly work it in. Otherwise, like I said, it might wonder when the hell you on the hole, and it might decide to go in the wrong spot. I want a bit of oil in there. Hopefully it made a mark. That's a problem with this little drill. No, it's going. It's going. And it must have seemed, that's luck, just by chance I haven't planned that. The seam, the joint of the metal is pretty close to that mark. Start cutting, get a bit of liquid on it. I don't want it to get hot, we'll just go blunt. Especially like you've seen maybe in previous videos, if you go like on stainless steel and that, before you know you harden the metal, and that is a mess. Something else that I did a while ago, I think it was also in COVID, this old drill press, the handles on it for drilling down. Still running. The handles on it broke, so I made new ones. You're not zoomed in or focusing, even you're not looking at it at the moment, but take my word for it, I made others. Saying that. Now this is a problem with this little drill. I need to go down a bit or up a bit with the table, and the reach is not long enough. That's basically what I'm saying, and that is a bit painful. We see, I don't know how deep I've gone. I'm going to switch it off. I need to lift the table, and of course I'll probably lose my marking, because it's a round shaft. You see what happens? It moves, it turns. So if I can just make a spot in the other one. Now of course the whole thing moved, and that smaller drill bit is not going to self-center, it's going to push the drill bit over. That's a bit better. Alright, let's try that. What I'll do now, I've just gone through the top end as well as the other side of the rectangular into the other tube, so that will give it a mark. But now I need to move the whole lot. I don't want to move that position or these because it's clamped together. Before you know, if you move that, the marks are not going to line up, it's not going to come together. Of course this clamp is all the way up, and that's not working well. These clamps are bought in a bundle with other metal, and they don't have their little feet anymore. That might be a future project, making one or a couple of those for the clamps. Again, I've seen other guys do it. I'm pretty certain I can as well. Alright, clamp that before you take the other side of it apart. Sorry, I see you off screen again. What I basically did is I put another clamp in before I take this clamp off. Space. Anyways, don't complain. It's other people who hasn't even got this. A workshop and some machinery. There is of course always people who have more, but we are privileged enough not to complain. We can't complain. There you are. Oh, there's always something you can moan about, but who cares? Bit of oil on it, and off we go again. Same procedure. That bit was nice and sharp. You don't want to get it, you see a bit of smoke, that's fine, but you don't want to get it over hot. Just gentle on the start. On the other side it's a very small bit. Stop it from wandering like I explained before. Yeah, that's going very nice. A bit more oil in there. Nice and sharp. It's gone through. That's it. Both is marked up. I'm going to separate them now for doing the rest of it. Alright guys, so sometimes things don't work out as you planned. So what do? You give up or make a plan. Now of course giving up won't get you anywhere. So make a plan. What happened here was when I tried the drill bit, the 16mm drill bit, the shaft was too big to fit in a chuck. So luckily I've got a hardened tip. I believe it's a tungsten tip. So I have off camera started, I didn't plan to show you, but I might as well. I have started to cut the back of the drill bit. I managed to true up some hopefully enough, so that it doesn't wobble around too bit. Saying that, the back of this was in such a state that it was wobbling all over the place, and it was grinded down, it seemed. So somebody was already in there probably to try and make it work. Lucky enough somebody had a center in the back already, so I picked up with that on the center of the lathe to support it on the center of a tailstock, and I'm cutting that like that, and it seemed to work well. Give it a bit of lube. It seems to work well. It does smoke a little, but like I said before, I don't care about smoking. I only go like a couple of thou at a time. That's a 13mm chuck, so I need to get under 13mm. Let's see what we got. I'm not too sure about how thick that is. That's 14.3 at the moment, so we can go down quite a bit still. Speed seems to be okay. I'm just going to let go as it is and go a couple of hours at a time. it's over or less than 13 mil, which is a chuck size, it doesn't matter. Like I said, the end of this bit was grinded up before. That was part of a lot of stuff that I got with the lathe. Some old bits in a bin. I've got loads of them, all sorts of sizes. A lot of them I've never used, most of them anyway I've never used, and I just dig one out every now and then whenever I need it. Every now and then I came across something which was previously butchered, you know. Well, I just want to do a clean up and spring coat on that as well. It seems to be a bit rough. But yeah, but I can still use it. I don't like throwing stuff away, especially if it, you know, if I can get some use out of it. Why would you waste some money? Use it, keep using it, sharpen it. Like I said, I grew up on a farm and we make do with what we had. We sharpen bits on a normal angle grinder. Not everybody can do it. I might show you in the future a video how I do it. It's probably not the most professional way, but it still works. Yeah. See, that might be, I'm sure that's pretty, well, guesstimation, pretty close to dimensions I need. Let's see. That is it. So it's just under, it's actually 12mm, but you know, that's gonna be good. That's gonna work for the job. At least I can use it again. So what, I only want to clean up that edge a little bit. It's sharp, it's very sharp now. You don't want to cut yourself. You just grab hold of a file somewhere. A little file is probably the smallest file I've laid my hands on. Just to clean that edge up. So you don't cut yourself, and while we're at it, might as well do it. That's it. Lovely. Let me do that edge as well. Just because, you know, it's not a grinder job. Sorry, my hands are probably in front of you. Not a grinder job. And a bit nicer. Might as well show a bit of pride in it. Okay, that's it. Let's get back to the drill press. Okay. Now this is loud. Let me grab the oil again. Let's see. Bit of oil on it. That's it. Let me tell you guys, this poor old drill of mine, it's cheap. The motor is actually way too small for this, but it did the job. I'm very proud of that. I'm very happy with that, and so it is. I've got the two side shafts, platform, I don't know what to call this section of it. I've got the two of them. I've got holes through both of them, so I'm going to shoot over to the metal workshop. Guys, I told you that I gave the wife a hand. This is a pride and joy. She helped me build it. This is a fireplace, and of course the lovely Mrs. The backside of it anyway. There you are. And look at, I think she's got green hands. Look at the flowers. How lovely is that garden? Yeah, I'm busy doing a bit of tiling. I managed to crack the tile. So happy with that, of course. And another bit on the side. Just something else anyway. Okay guys, I got in a little bit of trouble. My wife isn't too happy with me taking a shot where she's in. She said she wasn't looking her best, and that's why she didn't want to turn around. Saying that she's always looking good, she's always pretty to me. Anyways, yeah, she'll forgive me, she's good like that. And I just appreciate a woman that doesn't mind getting her hands dirty. She doesn't mind doing anything to give me a hand. I only got the wife and daughter, I only got 2 women, and she's good. They're both good. Both of them, I have to say, helped me doing a bit of brickwork. I was quite surprised. They picked up a spare trowel I had, doing a bit of brickwork. My wife was doing a bit of concreting, doing a bit of foundation on the first planter we did. We built, and yeah, they're pretty hands-on, and I do appreciate somebody who, as well as looking pretty, can or is willing to give a hand. Saying that, it's going a bit slow, all the work I do to the house, because it's just me doing the heavy work mostly. They do try to give a hand, but I don't really want to wear them out, work them out, and they got other things also to do. Anyways, get back to this. I have drilled both of them. That drill is pretty short. It doesn't want to stay sharp anymore. I think the tempering and everything, I could probably temper it again. The tempering is pretty short on it. But I managed to drill these by getting ahead. Drilling that is going to be another issue. I'll get around to that. Saying that, I'll have to make a plan anyway to drill. I'll probably drill it by hand, seeing as it's big and bulky, but maybe make a jig to drill it straight. Get to that anyway at some stage. Probably not in this episode. I've drilled it, but like you see, always in drilling something, especially where it's blunt, you get a bit of burr, which I'm just going to clean up quickly, and then I'll go ahead and cut them other pieces I talked about earlier. Cut them and get that welded in, and that's probably it for the day. Let me just get some ear muffs on, because I still value my ears. I need to listen when the wife gives me a shout. That's probably why. Anyway, get on with some serious stuff. She's gonna give it to me if she finds out what I'm talking about. All of this. Anyway, I've got a flapper disc on. It's just a sanding disc for the grinder. It's great actually cleaning up metal works, and I've used it on timber as well, but metal is great on. Happy with that. Take some measurements and then I'll bring the saw out again. So for measurements, I think I'm just going to clamp this in position. And bring out the vernier. That's probably the easiest. Bring out the vernier, dig out the saw, and I'll just chop that steel. Let's see what we got. 100 mil. I'll probably want to cut it at about 100 and I want to give it like a sloppy fit, a loose fit. So I'll probably cut it 102 and see how it is, how that works out to be. Let's do that. I'll dig the saw out and then go from there. And just like that, and this is only measured and approved by the finger method, just sliding across, make sure that this is good, and I'm quite pleased with it. Okay, so put that back on there. At the moment we got here at the bottom them welds, so I want to actually lift it off the welds a little. I need some spaces. That should do the job just fine. I'll lift them up a little. That's it, and that's above the welds, and of course I need another one. Okay, where are we? Another one there, and that's above the weld, so that can lay nice and square on the beam. Okay, so I don't want it too tight on the two sides, otherwise that's going to bind and all. I don't want it to bind. Okay, I think I'm going to go with that. I'll tack that in and then come around to do the other side. Welding helmet on, and watch out for flashing lights, guys. I don't know what ailments you might have, but I'm saying sorry. In a previous episode I didn't warn you guys. Welding, I mean, it's not harmful through the camera, looking at that, but I don't know, you might have epilepsy or something like that, and I don't mean to intend to cause you harm. Just want to check before I give it a bit of weld, but I'm happy with the heights and everything. So I've got the two washers there, other side, and the washers here fell out. That's it, and that's nice and solid on the base, which I'm working off of. So that's good. So what I'll do is I'll give it a bit of a better weld there, and then move over, then do the bottom as well. Other that, actually, I'm going to take this thing apart, weld the bottom first. See, that's the whole idea of it, being able to go up and down and get rid of this timber. Get rid of the timber. Slides over the top. I'll take this out of the way without dropping everything on the floor, and I'll weld this up. I'm going to use the arc welder on that. Where's the plug for that? Yeah, I got that. Take this out of the way. Now, for some reason, my arc welder always tripped the power if I switch it on first time. So this might happen again. I'll just go and quickly flip the strip on the fuse. Oh, look at that. It's probably quite jealous that I use the other one rather than it. Oh, there you go. It's full of washers everywhere. I do want to clamp this together. Remember, with the heat, things move during welding. And what I'm doing is I'm moving in circles. You could probably hear it while I'm welding, but because you got the thin edge of the tube laying across, that's where it wanted to burn through, because that's the thinnest part of it. So by going in circles and focusing on the more solid side of it, it tends to not burn holes in your tube. That's anyway what I've learned through a little bit of experience.
And last one.
Lovely. So I'll give that a bit of time before I handle it, because of course welding, the definition of welding is melting two or more metals together. So it is extreme hot, so be careful when you weld. Don't touch it before it's cold, especially like me. I'm wearing the proper gloves. You should actually wear the leather gloves, which I have, of course. I tend not to use it much for some stupid reason. Don't ask me why. And I'm pretty pleased with that. I just want to sand it down with a grinder and then give it a trial fit on the whole system. So move that out of the way and bring this in. Sorry, it's a bit smoky in here. Soaked in. Look at that. I'll work it down a bit so it's running smoother, but there's just enough gap, just the way I wanted it. So I'm very pleased with this. That's the piece of metal created then. And pleased with that sturdy old piece of metal. The next part after the project, holes drilled, and I mean, not beautiful but strong welds. Pretty pleased with that. This will conclude today's part then. Till the next episode, and good luck on them guys struggling with their health, old Matty and them. I know they would love to get onto their projects, and I do feel sorry for them because of that. They always got something going, great ideas. Go look at their channels. Look at Aid's channel. Very grateful for him to come back to me and his support. Very nice fellas indeed. Please go and support them as well. And thank you very much for everybody's support, all the subscribers, all the likes, and please give your comment, positive and negative. Just interact. It gives me a bit of motivation as well. It's always nice to get a bit of feedback, see if the people like your stuff. If they don't, thank you to all of you anyways for subscribing, like I said, and have a good evening and the rest of the week. I don't know when the next one will be out, but have a good time and God bless.